Members, Sierra and Sheriff, Clarissa Slater, Vicky DeShawn, Jameson, the Chair. Public participation.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. I couldn't bring this up Tuesday night because I wasn't given an opportunity to do it. I'm going to bring it up tonight because both ordinances are on here. These committees need to get their acts together. Okay? They need to come prepared with legislation instead of coming to all these meetings and have to sit here for hours on end listening to people say, well, we need a comment here, we need an and here, take this and that or whatever. Tuesday night I heard a particular council person state, I was law clerk for over 30-some years. I served for 5 law directors. I used to sit down with one and correct all this stuff.
Okay, let's keep moving.
I am. So the point is, people are tired of hearing this stuff. Why can't these committees, and even the law director is on tape making the comment, committees need to come and be prepared to have everything done before they come before council. Okay? And you know what? It's like another part of another video was said. Do we have to hear this again? I understand. This needs to be out in the get-go, in front of everything. This stuff needs to quit. These committees need to get their acts together to get this legislation done in a timely manner, to give it to the law director, okay? And then be prepared before it comes to council. Thank you.
Any more public participation? Seeing none, we'll go to State Route 19 paving on the southeast side of the city. Tommy, you want to tell us about it?
So it looks like, Tommy Starner, Surface Safety Director. Looks like that the state's going to come through on 19 or Hopley Avenue on the southeast side of the Bucyrus in late 26 or summer of 27. The area of that is literally just in front of the church. You all have a map just in front of the church, out to the first farmhouse past Beale Avenue. So just have to get this passed as soon as we can so we can send the legislation back to them and they can put it on the schedule. Any questions?
Is this an emergency?
What's that?
This is an emergency?
I
It has
think,
the emergency clause on it.
yeah, I think it has to be because of that, yep.
And Tommy, just, was this given to us, the ordinances, to fill in, essentially?
I can't hear you. You're gonna speak up. I'm definitely wanting. You might
Sorry.
that mic, because that didn't help me out.
I said, was this given to us from the state of Ohio? Like this
Yes,
template?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, this was all given to us. The only thing we came up with was this physical map of it, so
Okay.
everyone knows where it is. This map was kind of hard to tell,
yeah,
because if you didn't know what that meant, so
Okay.
we went and did a regular map. But everything else was given to us by the state.
so yeah, we just have to fill in the name it an ordinance number and just fill in the blanks,
Yep.
yeah? Okay.
Yep. So. Any other questions?
So I will make a motion for State Route 19 paving on the southeast side of the city to go to full council as an emergency.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Aaron?
Yes.
Clarissa?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Next, we have the BZA appointments. We have Adam Purcell, and I don't believe, has anybody heard of anybody else that wanted the position?
No, sir.
Do I hear a motion to appoint Adam Frisell?
I'll make a motion to appoint Adam Frisell.
I'll second that motion.
And if I may say, it's not only to the BZA, but also to the BBSA. I mean, it's understood that if you're on the BZA, you automatically, but we do refer to the BBZA in the legislation, so the motion should probably state appointing him to serve on both of those.
Would
Amend
you
it.
amend your
I will
motion?
amend that motion to have both added,
BZA and
BZA and BBSA.
BBSA. Would you amend your second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Thank you. Aaron,
Yes.
Clarissa,
Yes.
Vicki?
Now, we didn't have discussion.
Oh, do you want discussion?
Well, no, I just thought of something. In that motion, do we want to set forth what his term is going to be? Because Mr. Lipscomb's term, which is the term that we're looking for Mr. Frisell to finish out, it goes through December 31st, 2027. And I guess the commencement date, because we're going to declare this as an emergency, because we'll want to get him on the board.
Yeah, we want him on the board by August 18th.
Okay, so we're looking at an emergency. So as far as the commencing date, that would be today's date, I would think. Commencing today and going through December 31st, 2027 for both of the boards.
Would it be retroactive to today then? Since we're not voting on it, so.
That's fine. So I don't know if we want to
Amend it.
amend,
I say, I think it's just part of it that it's supposed to be on there.
pardon?
I think it's just part of the legislation that it's supposed to be in there, so just adding that into the wording to make sure that we have it. I don't think we have to amend the motion to do it, do we?
I don't think so.
Okay. So do we need to restart the vote, or
To Vicki, so
two, Vicki?
I'm to Vicki.
You're looking at me as far as,
A yes or
Would
no?
you like
Yes.
that a new motion or? Oh,
I
sorry.
did the motion, you did the second, we both.
It was said yes, okay.
Both
Yes.
amended? And I'm a yes.
I just have a question, because I know if there's if there's a need, how many council members are already on that? Just one? Is there?
I'm on the BZA, I'm not allowed to be on the appeals board, I believe.
Is there a rule that we can't have more than one? I know like 3 would be a quorum, but I was just saying if there's an opening.
I think there is. I think I'm automatically on there because I'm the chair
Right.
of Platting.
Well, if there's not, if we can't find somebody, I'd be willing to do it, if necessary.
We just,
we just appointed.
You said there was 2 spots open.
no. he's
Oh,
gonna fill
I'm
more
so
spots.
sorry.
He's going to
He's
fill
filling the
2
2
spots.
I understand now.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
Gotcha.
fine with Frisell. I apologize. I thought there was 2 separate spots and we needed a second person. I was like, well, we need
All right.
somebody. My bad.
Next up, we have ordinance number 33, 2025, dedication of Pleasant Hill Drive.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, I believe we went through some edits with Mike before the meeting,
Okay.
and I have them listed here.
Would
So.
you go down through them, please?
Yes, of course. So where it used to say Rima Place, apparently that was an error on the software with the engineer, where it's like a default name. Avita had no intention of changing the name. So,
Wait a minute, if I may interrupt. We are on ordinance 33-2025.
correct.
Dedication of.
Okay, it's a
Pleasant Hill Drive
dedication.
Now because.
Oh, that's a change because it's not Rima Place?
Right.
Correct.
Right.
It was never intended to be Rima Place, apparently it's the
It's a s-
placeholder for the software at the engineering company, and they didn't tell us that.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's still going to be Pleasant Hill Drive. Rima Place was like the default name when filling in this information, so. And then I do know that we discussed the width-length issue. In speaking to Mike, he states that the 50 feet and 50.58 feet on the west and east side are actually widths. Those are the widths of the right-of-way for the street.
That's been corrected, yes?
Yes.
50 feet,
Yeah, we
yes.
changed it. We had it all in length before, and he stated that per,
Just so you know, we were told to
Yeah.
change them to lengths.
We were,
Okay.
I'll make yours.
What's next?
there was some formatting issues with, looks like copy paste, so the paragraphs are now correct. All the data is still there, it's not changing in that. And the only calling out for length, the only call out length for the length of the whole project. So that's where the change was. So where it stays length now, I think it's in the, oh yes, in section 1, we also had it, since it's stated in the description, Pleasant Hill Drive was changed, and it is actually being all of in-lot 1145 now, since it's not partially replaced. The whole thing is all of in-lot 45, and fully described above, which would be the description. And however, it was with the rights of all public utility companies, so they still have rights, that's subject there. And then section 2, it was changed to the ordinance to be an emergency measure. And that clause was placed in there. Lisa was changed, Lisa Stuckman, Council Clerk Pro Tem was changed. I believe that's all that I can remember off the top of my head.
We had to change a majority to 2/3.
Yes, majority and 2/3, those corrections that you had provided was changed.
Also changed.
Okay, Aaron, do you see any more corrections that need to be changed?
I do not.
Vicki? Does it look good to you?
Well, for what, the 5 seconds I had to look at it?
Would you like to take some time? Because
No.
I will call a recess
No.
right now,
Nope.
if you want to look at it.
I do have a question. How are we handling this legal description? Are we looking at that as being a part of the caption or not?
No, period after declaring an emergency and the caption, and then there's the description.
Okay, now, would you say that again, please?
Yes, the period after declaring an emergency ends the caption.
Okay.
Everything's in capitals, ends the caption, says more fully described as follows. Here we go. States that it's the description of a portion of Pleasant Hill Drive to be vacated. And then whereas, and then somewhere in here, I think section 1, it says, as described in the courses above and subject to. So, should sandwich it together very nicely.
All right.
Okay, I ask again, Vicki?
Yes. I'm fine with passing it on to,
Clarissa, do you see any more errors?
No, I don't, but I just have one comment. Mike, if I may, going through this with you just briefly and having to listen to Lisa say the whole thing at the last reading, I would just like to point out that there's a lot of very explicit information in here. So this is how we don't have issues. Yes, while we're visiting it, we can do the grammar. That is not priority. The priority is going through and making sure that the description information and the supporting text is proper. So I'm sorry for those at home and in the audience that this isn't some dramatical theater for you, but this is what real governance looks like, is double checking your work. So that's my only note.
Okay, ordinance number 33-2025, dedication of Pleasant Hill Drive. Aaron,
This is emergency. We need a
I need a
motion.
motion.
Oh.
You usually do my motion.
Here's a hint, I'm sorry, I didn't take the hint quickly. I will make a motion to pass ordinance number 33-2025, the dedication of Pleasant Hill Drive on to full council
As an emergency.
as an emergency.
I'll
Do I have
second
a
that
second?
motion.
Thank you. Aaron,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Moving on to ordinance number 34-2025, vacation of the north end part of Pleasant Hill Drive. Were there any corrections in this besides the 34 being switched?
There was less corrections, I believe, on this one.
Could you go through them for us, please?
I know we did and declaring an emergency. I caught one that said, instead of saying the north end, it said the north end, so that H was added. The formatting again in the legal description was fixed. And I believe Plants Way was Pants Way or something, that was fixed. Right of way was hyphenated in the legal description.
Just Scribner errors
And
then, correct?
Yeah, no, to the 2/3 of all members thereto concurring,
Okay.
after the now therefore be it ordained. 2/3 was added. Again, the length, this is actually length. These are lengths. I double checked with Mike. Pleasant Hill Drive, that's correct. And the ordinance, section 2 ordinance for an emergency was added. Lisa was added as council clerk pro tem, and I believe that's all the corrections that were made, unless the law director remembers something I'm not.
So Mike, are you looking at it?
Was the,
Go to section 1 for me.
okay,
Third line down, second line down,
Oh.
sorry.
Oh, we missed a length.
the name should be with, on line 3 of section 1.
I asked you that right before the meeting.
I didn't hear it.
I said,
We
hey,
have
are
a
these
length
supposed to
above
be
it, too,
length?
in
And
the
you
second
said
line.
yes. That's why I didn't change them.
Well,
So-
Above it, we also have a length.
So the caption
They're supposed to
should be
go back
with
to
then?
width.
Okay, my apologies. So in section 1, you were absolutely correct, those should be, it did not change to match the description, or the caption, so. I was getting confused with the length, see, I can't even say it now, winks, width and length, so
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Well, wait a minute.
we're gonna
please.
have to,
I want to know what you've done here.
yes.
This
You're
I'll show you.
saying section 1,
Section 1, I misunderstood Mike when I asked him about the section 1 clause, because I had already changed the caption to match width. However, when I asked about section 1, I didn't realize this was the same information in the caption. So we have changed length to width in section 1, and we'll need to do, I just need a motion to amend it.
so everywhere in section 1 where it says length, it needs to say width.
No,
Excuse me?
no. Where it says 236.75 feet in length, that's correct.
All right.
Then it
Wait,
says
that
west
is-
side 237.13 feet in length, that's correct. Now we
Okay.
go to the 16 feet in length, needs to be changed to width.
So the south and north sides are the ones that need change, correct?
Correct.
The only reason why you are switching the 16 feet from length to width is because you're calling out the width of the right-of-way.
Okay.
You call out the sidelines of the right-of-way lines in length.
Gotcha.
So that's the only time we say width in section 1,
Is the 16.
just one time, width appears. Where's the second place that it appears?
There's 2 spots where it's 16 feet.
So in
16 feet
line
twice.
3, it appears twice.
Okey-doke. Okay, thank you.
And just a formatting thing, so that I apologize that I didn't catch this. On the east side and on the second line, the very end,
What section?
section 1, second line, .00, just to match the rest of it. It's a Scrivener, but I'm just noting it for the record, so. So 16.00, so it matches the format of the rest of the lengths. So with that being said, I will make a motion to amend it to state in section 1, line 2, making it east side and 16.00 feet in width on the south side and 16 feet in width on the north side. That is the only amended thing that I see. So that's my motion to amend this legislation.
We have a motion on the floor.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Aaron?
Yes.
Clarissa?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
And then I'll make a motion, if there's no other changes, I'll make a motion to move this to full, or ordinance number 34-2025 to full council as an emergency.
As amended.
Would you
As
like to do
amended.
33 and 34?
Well,
We
already
did
the
the
last
33.
one.
Aaron
We
did it.
33.
Oh, we'll wait. I
I'll
was
sec-
just
I'll
thinking
second
about,
her motion. I think I'll do it.
all right, somebody's got to.
Oh, yeah.
Clarissa?
Yes, well, just one quick note, we fixed the ordinance numbers. I didn't state that. 33 and 34 are now properly on the document.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. What's next? Move 34 to full council?
We just did that, so we're on open projects.
Okay, we're on open projects. Did we move,
Chairperson?
did we move 33?
Yeah.
Yes, we did that.
33, and then we just finished 34.
Okay. Yes, Vicky?
I wanted to ask Law Director Goldberg a
Please.
question. The status of our land swap, Woods Drive, Cristeta Road.
Still waiting on them to get back to me. I sent them an email and it never got answered.
Any more questions?
No, thank you.
Anybody else?
No, thank you.
Open projects? Public participation? Seeing none, meetings adjourned at 6:25.
Buildings Committee, July 31st, 2025.
I call Public Lands and Buildings to order for the July 31st, 2025 meeting at 6:25 PM. Members present, Terry Spiegel, Christopher Moritz, Clarissa Slater, and myself, Sierra and Sheriff, as chair. First up, we have public participation. Seeing none. Next on the agenda is 428 East Mansfield Street, the Swan Rubber Building. I know that Tommy says that we have the quotes for that, what it's going to cost. Did you want to talk about that, Tommy? Sure.
Tommy Starr, Surface Safety Director. I just want to let everyone know that we got the quotes back from what Dylan had sent out from Great Lakes Demolition for the Swan Building. It looks like a cost between $350,000 and $500,000, and Dylan claims that $500,000 is going to be closer to the number that we need in order to demolish that building. And then we also went ahead and through our PEP, we got a quote back for the insurance, what it would take just for liability as it sets today. It would be about $2,612.50 a year in order to have insurance on that.
What was that number again? I'm so sorry. 200 what?
$2,612.
Okay. I thought you said 200. Okay.
2,000. I
My
might have
bad.
said 200. I'm not going to say I did or did not. We can look at it later. We'll listen to it later. But $2,612.50. So it will be very expensive if we take ownership of that. I just wanted this to be in the packet, so in case it got lost, it was in there, so. Yes, sir.
What was the quote for just taking down the facade?
For the what?
Just for the bricks.
There was no quote for the bricks.
There was no quote just for the bricks.
No.
It's probably not a bad idea to get that, in my opinion, because looking at it, and Mike, thankfully being here, could probably speak to this, that if we demolish that building, how much land is left to actually build on? Since
I'm
it's,
not going to
speculate?
make comment on that. Unless, demolishing that property, I'm not sure what kind of soil contamination's on that land, so I can't say. I'm not an expert in that to even make comment on it.
I guess I meant with like since it's right up against the sidewalk, I wasn't saying actually,
She's talking about the offsets.
the offset, yeah, like how much,
Okay. Bruce Strickland, Mayor. To follow up with Brandon, the reason that we didn't get a quote for taking the outside brick off is, according to Dylan Wyatt, it's entirely too costly. It's because of it being too dangerous. He said that nobody wanted to even touch the outside of the building to take the brick off.
All right. Well, that puts us in a sticky wicket then.
Is there a chance we can get brownfield? Aren't we looking into that to destroy that building with?
how
Grant
much
had
was
a
the,
With our
reward?
state rep, and he basically said that we would have to ask the county to cooperate with us. And we're working.
well, we also have the brownfield grant money from, in that meeting, we talked about it. There's a separate one through the state, and we got one through the EPA with the help of the partnership, where they're narrowing down, but how much funding was it total?
So we got $1.5 million in brownfield grants for the whole county, or for Guyton, us, or for Crestline, us, and New Washington. That's just to do the phase ones of the brownfield, so that's to test everything. And this piece of property is on that list.
Okay.
So
Has anyone, like an engineer, even stated, like, how do we mitigate the safety issue before we demolish? Has that question been asked? I know you said that they didn't want to touch the facade, but we can't just leave it.
we don't have.
Well, we don't have
control
control over it, but I mean, like, if we take, if we do
take.
take it, I'm saying if we do take it, we can't just leave it like that.
Right, that's why we're about the numbers.
Right, I just mean like before it gets demolished, that period of
Guys,
time.
can you quiet down in the back so that everybody can be heard up here, because you're echoing really.
I don't know if that conversation happened.
So it's structurally safe by an engineer, except for the facade. That was sold to us.
Okay.
So essentially, our only option is to close down that side of the street between that time, once we, if and when we take possession or control or conservatorship or whatever it's called.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not gonna say on that.
okay.
Oh, yeah, if we're gonna take possession of it for remediation, we'll have to close down the entire street.
Keep close means for the street.
So another thing is the, I hear what he's saying. We have an additional $1 million per county through the state house. So we have the 1.5 that was awarded to the county as a whole. The county is also that's from the EPA, so that's over here. And from the state house, they've budgeted $1 million per county in brownfield mediation that's coming out of the state house funds. So they're two different funds. So there's actually 2.5 million for the whole county coming from two separate funds per that meeting. But I guess I would have to
I
say,
know there was a lot of stuff going on with that, like, right now it was only in the first phase, which has nothing to do with tearing down. It's, so, And from what they were telling us at OML, it may never get to helping pay for tear down, just everything up to.
Right. That's through the EPA for the 1.5, but the 1 million, I believe, is a little bit more relaxed restrictions based on what he said. I do know that there's additional funds through the State House for the Brownfield grant per his conversation, but we have to have an end user in mind for that, for us to even be eligible for that. So it's not just about the remediation, it's about like turning it over to a new owner or have a project or an end user in mind, so. But I hate to say it, but I feel like this is all kind of just speculation unless we end up having some legal oversight of that building. I mean, administratively, I guess they were given options what they can do without that, but that's really with them.
All right, do we have any more discussion on this property?
I just, if we did tear it down, the side's got to come off anyway. So I'm just wondering, there's got to be a way to, either way, it's going to be just as dangerous. Either take the facade off where it is now or tear the whole building down. It's going to be the same danger. It's going to still be there.
Maybe they have a structural issue. They're afraid if they remove it that it'll damage, I don't know. I can't speculate because I'm not an engineer. So it sounds like, I mean, it's obviously it's the administration, so I don't want to speak for them, but I'm just assuming that means once it's under our insurance, if and when it is under our, our control and insurance, I'm guessing we're probably going to have to shut the road down. I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but that's just my guess. Yeah. Okay. Bruce is nodding his head. One side of the road. So the westbound traffic. Okay. Which should be routed through the Mary Street extension? Okay.
Y'all just pictured that. I saw it. All right. So now open projects. Do we have anything on open projects we need to speak about this evening?
Mr. Gobrick, was there any movement legally? Because I know Bruce had stated that you guys were doing something with it in that meeting with the owner. Sorry to go back to 428 real quick.
I'm not going to make any comments on current cases
Okay.
regarding a criminal nature.
All right. And nothing on open projects, guys? No. All right. Do we have any public participation? Seeing none, I'm going to adjourn at 6:35 p.m.
Health and Safety Committee, July 31st, 2025.
I call the Health and Safety Committee meeting to order at 6:37 p.m. Members present are Kevin Myers, C. Aaron Sherrick, James Mee, and myself, Vicki DeShawn, as chair. First on the agenda, public participation. Anyone wishing to speak to the committee, approach the podium, state your name and residential address.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. There's been some comments and there's also been some information released about that the dispatch is going to go to the Sheriff's Department of a savings of $480,000 a year. I mean, this has never been discussed.
Nobody's talked about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering why it's all released out there, the dispatch. I mean, is there something that the law director said to the police department that, is there something going on with that the dispatch should go out to the Sheriff's Department or what? I mean, I'm just asking because it was never brought up before, but there is information released out to the public about this.
And where was that information? Like Crawford County Now or Telegraph Form?
No, it was done by a council person. Thank you.
Clarissa Slater, 3645 State Route 4. Yes, that was released to me from a conversation I have, and I won't state who it's from, nor do I have to, where it was not even anything official. It was just conversations on trying to find cost-saving measures. in which they identified that amount of money could possibly be removed, from my understanding, but I was not involved in the conversation. It's somewhere in administration that information came from, and you're welcome to try to track that down if you want. But from my understanding, it was something that was proposed in a conversation that Mr. Fankhauser was in, and that he went ahead and told the county, and it ended up snowballing into a complete and total, what do we call it, S-show. So that's where that information came from, and I was trying to be transparent with that. And if anyone wants to make the correlation that I heard it from the law director, I will state that it's not from him. And if it was from him, I would say. So, just so we're on the record, it's somewhere in administration, and Mr. White is welcome to inquire with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more public participation? Next on the agenda, signal rates for Norfolk Southern Railroad crossing. Mr. Starner, did you want to talk about that?
All right, Tommy Starner, Service Safety Director. So as you guys can see, the last ordinance on this was in 2012. We've got all their numbers, and it looks like with everything, the old numbers are, they pay us $768.90. With the new numbers, they would pay us $583.80. The rates have actually went down on these lights since 2012, and/or they weren't figured right in 2012. I don't know, because I wasn't there. What we were doing was we were starting to look into it as a possible increase in our revenue, and it backfired on us, I'm not gonna lie. But I still think it should be updated to the correct numbers with what we have currently.
And the numbers that you stated, Mr. Starner, those are for 6 months.
Those are for 6 months, yes. So,
Okay,
I mean, the one prior to that was 2001.
right.
So it's been about 11 years in between each one. This is a little more than 11 years, but, so.
Okay, so why do they pay us?
So apparently, they pay it to have the lights. We pay for the electricity, but they pay the lights. They pay for the lights to be there to have the electricity. So it's part of the electricity.
But the electrical bill's gone up since 2012?
We pay the bills, yep.
And they're paying us less? Or they want to? I mean,
No, just the opposite of that. They're paying more than what they should by the current rates that we got from them. From the electric company. We didn't get the rates from the railroad. We got the rates from the electric company.
So in technicality, they're paying the actual cost of the electric is what the goal is.
Yes, that's the only thing we want to do is break even on that.
Gotcha, okay.
We don't want to make money as I think we are.
Right.
From what the electric company says that we should be charged.
Does anybody,
I wonder how they got the figure in the first place to pay us what they... No, I mean Norfolk. I mean, they wouldn't have gotten it from the electric company when the electric rates were lower in 2012 than they are now. They would have had to have...
He just stated he believes they made an error to our benefit.
All right, do you need this as an emergency or regular legislation?
It's been this way since 2012. I don't think it's quite emergency.
So I'll make a motion requesting legislation that authorizes the administration to enter into a new contract with Norfolk and Southern Railway.
2000?
Yeah, he just said he doesn't feel the need for it to be an emergency.
Got it? Okay.
So my motion is for regular legislation authorizing the administration to enter into a new contract with Norfolk and Southern Railway for the signal rates.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Further discussion? So we have a motion by Myers, second by me. Roll call. Myers?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
And myself, Deshawn? Yes. So we will be requesting legislation from the law director?
We just did.
Okay, thank you. Open projects. Does anybody, Jim,
No.
Aaron?
No.
I do have a question, though, off that legislation we just passed. We could have just ignored that and kept collecting the money, correct?
Yeah, you're right.
It just dawned on me. No more comment than that.
No. Correct, not the right thing to do.
True. I agree.
Well, I just keep wondering if they didn't put a buffer in on purpose themselves, like, if it wasn't an error, if it was in there for a reason. That was my big thought when I asked the question, was like, they would have been the ones to come up with that number, so,
Well, it doesn't matter.
You mean the railroad?
yeah.
Well, no, I thought Mr. Starner said that the rate figure comes from the electric company.
Yep, for each light.
Yeah. And then based on what the electric company states that the rate is, that's then what the city goes to the railroad and says, this is what we're charging you. Do you have any open projects that you wanted to discuss, Aaron? No?
Thank you.
No.
I would just like to just get a status report, just to keep everybody abreast on what is or isn't going on right now. So I'm going to check with you, Mr. Law Director. Chapter 311, taxi cab licensing. We have that out there. We have Chapter 505, animals and fowl.
Correct.
We have Chapter 709, temporary business food trucks. We have Chapter 711, peddlers and solicitors. And then we have our criminal ordinance resources package.
Correct.
Property maintenance appeals board. You had sent me an email. This is where we need to appoint some board appointments. And back in April, when we were discussing this, I had mentioned that I believed that the chief appointing authority was the mayor, because according to the 2012 International Property Maintenance Code Manual, it states that the chief appointing authority is the one that, makes the appointment with the approval then of council. And at that time, you had mentioned that you felt in this particular instance that the chief appointing authority was the council president. So then Councilman Myers requested to indefinitely table the matter and let the council president have the information. Well, back in June of this year, I questioned what information was to be provided to the council president. So I sent to Mr. Fankhauser an email on July 2nd, giving him copies of Section 111 of the International Property Maintenance Code for 2012 on the membership appointment, and copy of Resolution 2021, and stated if he had any questions to contact the law director. And in my email to him, I explained why I was sending what I was sending to him. Well, then on July 10th, you sent me an email with a draft resolution setting forth council's appointment of the mayor as the chief appointing authority. And you asked for my thoughts. And my response was, I'm confused. Because when I said that I thought it was the mayor, you stated, no, in this instance, it was the council president.
Because it's always been done that way. However, you can pick, the council can pick, in small municipalities like this, and I had this conversation with Mr. Frizzell. Council president appoints some people, president or mayor appoints some people. It's a toss-up as to who is the chief appointing officer. But you can always assign who is the appointing officer for whatever. So if you wanted it to be the mayor, that's why I sent that to you, is.
No, I
you to
didn't
give a
say
look
I
at.
wanted it to be the mayor. I said I believed, as I believe Mr. Frizzell also stated, that according to the 2012 International Property, International Property Maintenance Code, that the mayor is the chief appointing authority.
Right, but it was conveyed to me back then, and I still believe that it has always been the council president who made those appointments, not the mayor. So past practice puts him as the appointing officer for that.
Okay,
So if you want to make a determination as to who it is, just pass a resolution that says, this position appoints, which is why I sent you that.
so I guess the question is of the committee. What are your thoughts on who the chief appointing authority should be for the International Property Maintenance Board membership? Kevin?
May I ask some questions of the audience?
Sure.
Kurt, were you under the impression as of right now that this is something that's on your list of responsibilities?
Yes.
Okay, do you have somebody in mind already?
I'd like to put it posted in like the news, like Crawford Hangout,
Sure.
Free Wire, if there's anybody's interested, just send it in.
Okay. And my next are you done? I didn't mean to cut you off. Mr. Mayor, same question to you. Do you feel that falls under you or the council president? Do you have thoughts one way or the other?
I go back to the history of what's been done in the past. So if the precedence is already set, it's always been done by the council president,
And you take no issue with that currently?
no.
Then my answer to you, Mrs. DeShawn, would be let's just leave it be and let the council president move forward with dealing with it as it has been in the past and not muddy up the water.
And we don't want to have a piece of legislation establishing or who is the chief appointing authority.
From what I just heard, I think it's unnecessary
Okay.
to pay to publish legislation that we don't really need.
Okay. How are you with that, Jim?
Mayor agrees with that? I'm okay with it then.
Aaron?
I don't see where we need a piece of legislation. It'd be nice to have rules and procedures in place somewhere where it says things like that, like have all those things listed, but not as a piece of legislation, like when we get the rules and procedures. maybe have
At one
something.
point, there was a nice document that
There
Todd
was.
Hill had put together, which basically said who has the responsibilities to appoint people to each position. So I'm sure that still exists somewhere.
It's just nice having it for when you have full turnover and nobody knows they've got something to look back on.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, then we're looking to the council president to handle the appointments. The next question is, we're not going to do draft, we're not going to do legislation appointing him as the chief appointing officer, or the chief appointing authority. So the next question is, right now, for the Property Maintenance Appeals Board appointments, we already have where Mr. Farmer has agreed to continue, Mr. Pfeiffer has agreed to continue, and Mr. Boers did not wish to continue. And Ms. Alsept, Lisa Alsept, put in an email stating that she would be willing to serve on the board. So we have the people that have said, we would like to continue on another term, and we have an individual who said she was interested to fill the term that Mr. Boers does not want to redo. So to me, I mean, I'm thinking we would want to do legislation appointing Farmer, Pfeiffer, and Alsep. I mean, I know that Mr. Fankhauser mentioned he would like to put something in the news media. I mean, are we wanting to do that? I mean, typically, we go to the people that are already serving, and when their term's up, we ask them, do you wish to continue on? Are we changing? How
I mean,
we,
I guess from the conversation we just had, that's his appointment to make. Have you put any thought to that, Kurt, about those names at this point, or?
I'm not appointing all of just one, right?
So their terms are staggered, correct?
well, that was my next.
the problem.
Because that's the killer right there.
Yeah.
You get all new people in there, you're like,
Well, let's put it this way, yeah, they're supposed to be staggered terms. And you're also supposed to appoint 2 alternate members, minimum. That's not been done in the past.
we are to appoint them, or Kurt's appoint them?
There's never been staggered terms, or there's never been an appointment of 2 alternate members.
So do we need legislation to stagger the terms?
I don't think there's legislation to stagger because it's right in the International Property Maintenance Code that says, here's how you do it, A, B, C, D. And it says in there, staggered terms, and then again, the appointing of 2 alternate members. Did you want to speak, Mr. Fankhauser?
I'm confused. The term that I appoint, which part of the staggering is that one?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Forrest did not want to.
Let me find the email that I sent to you with copies of all that stuff. Okay.
Hey,
Pardon? No.
nothing.
It just says the Board of Appeals shall consist of a minimum of 3 members, which we have more than 3 members, but that's fine because it's a minimum of 3. And the board shall be appointed by the chief appointing authority. So if you're going to be the chief appointing authority, you're appointing everybody, not just 1 person or 2 person.
So the ones that have stated that they're willing to continue on, that are already on, I'm willing to, that be my appointment for those ones. And if there's an additional one,
Miss Alsept.
it sounds like so far Mrs. Alsep's the only one that
Yes.
has expressed.
Yes, she sent an email expressing that.
If she had sent that email, I'm fine with her. I'm fine with her.
And it goes on to state that when you do that appointment, it says, and shall serve staggered and overlapping terms.
How long are their terms?
That's just what I was gonna punch up here. Now, let's see, the last piece of legislation was 2021, and when we appointed Mr. Farmer, Mr. Pfeiffer, and Mr. Boers, those 3 were for 4-year terms. All 3, each one, 4 years.
But were they staggered at the initial?
No.
They were never staggered? So they all come
Well,
up?
you mean, were their appointments staggered? Mm-mm.
So they all expired at the same time?
Right, they all started at the same time.
Even though it says in the ordinance that shall be staggered.
But in theory, I think if you appoint these three, you could probably appoint each of them to, one of them as a 1 year, one a 2 year, one a 3 year term.
And it's not an ordinance that says that, it's the International Property Maintenance Code Manual that sets forth,
So the two alternates
which we've never done.
historically has never been done.
Not my
Could
judgment.
be done.
Well, it says, and shall, the board shall, well, wait a minute. The chief appointing officer, or chief appointing authority shall appoint, so,
Does it say in that they shall be staggered too?
no.
So
I think an alternate would be ready to step in if anybody
Right,
stepped off.
right, yeah. And it's, the alternate shall be called by the board chairman in the absence of a member.
I hereby appoint Lisa Alsep to that one, plus the other ones that wanted to continue on, so that'll get it going to where it's able to function initially here, and then
Do we know who's been on there the longest? Was it Farmer or Piper?
Oh, that,
I was gonna say, do like the one who's been on the longest for 2-year term, the next one a 3-year term, Lisa the 4-year term, because it's supposed to be a 4-year term. But that would get us all to where everybody's been at least 4 years and get us a stagger.
My suggestion would be, let him have till our council meeting next week to look into the dates, and then you can bring it to full council on Monday.
it sounds like the staggering it's not required, but it could be done that way from what the International Property Maintenance, it doesn't say it has to be one way or the other,
it
right?
says, the board shall be appointed by the chief appointing authority and shall serve staggered,
Okay, so it has to be done.
yeah.
So maybe just bring that to us Monday with those three names and what length you want the term to be, and then we can voice vote on it, and it's a done deal.
And keeping in mind, we meet Monday.
Council meets Monday.
Yeah, council meets Monday.
So Monday's meeting, the documents on demand agenda would have to be out by Friday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unless somebody wants to come in on Sunday evening and work overtime and get it sent out.
And for these appointments, you can probably just have new business on Monday.
Between now and Monday, I'll come up with a solution.
Okay, thank you. And then, let's see here. My goodies. Status of 450 Dudley Street.
That is working its way, I don't have an update yet, but it's working its way through the court.
Through the court.
Yes.
In which court?
It's a private thing right now, so I'm not going to make a comment on it.
But the owners are selling it to somebody that was already mentioned in a council meeting.
Yeah, it's a private thing,
Okay.
so.
So we'll leave it on our list for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. The only other thing that I have, Mr. Gobrick, is at our last council meeting, ordinance 31-2025 that had to do with updating the traffic map for Galen Street.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the draft that was in our packet did not reflect the edits that had been approved by council at the prior council meeting. And it was mentioned that you had changed those in your computer while we were talking at that initial council meeting. And it was thought that it's somewhere, it just wasn't available for when the packet was prepared for the last council meeting. In other words, do you have the updated ordinance with those correct edits so that it'll be ready for its third reading at Monday's council meeting?
Yes, I emailed it to Lisa.
Okay, great. Then that's all I have. Any more public participation? Okay, seeing no one, I adjourn the meeting at 7:04 PM.
Service Committee, July 31st, 2025.
Service Committee will come to order at 7:06. Excuse me. Members present. Sierra and Sherrick, Terry Spiegel, Kevin Myers, I myself, Chris Moritz. Any public participation at this time?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. I got a question because I know this actually should be for the CT Service Director because he sets the rates. Are we going to have an increase in our water, sewer, trash and stuff the rest of this year? I mean, we borrowed $1 million, right, to bail out the water fund. That has to be put on someone else to pay. So when is our increase coming? What month of this year are we going to have increases for everything? Just like to know, and I'd like to know, and also some people that have talked to me in the past 2 weeks would like to know also. Thank you.
Would you like to come up and speak on that one or not? Nope, okay. Because really, we don't,
Yeah, we don't have anything.
committee wouldn't have any idea about that anyway. But Greg White put it out there, so it's out there. Any other public participation? Seeing none. New airport terminal, want to bring that up today. We have a speaker here to speak on that. Engineer?
So that's an open project.
Open project list, yes. Sorry about that. Open projects.
Good.
Go ahead. You're on.
Don't want to come up at the wrong time. All right, Ben Cooley, Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly. The Airport Commission has asked me to come here today to kind of give a quick update on the airport terminal project. We have received our grants, or the paperwork is in hand and signatures are being gathered. But we now have final costs. We've bid the project, and I come with some sort of summary of both federal and local dollars requested to complete the funding side of that. So I have a couple sheets of paper to not rattle off numbers and
Yes.
of course.
Yeah, you got an extra.
I do.
Thank you.
And it's got a pretty picture on there too, just to help sort of understand what's involved, because with the FAA, there's always lots of components and grants, and so I'm going to not get into the specific grants and the breakdown between the two, but we have split the project into a couple different years, and so in this year, 2025, we received 3 grants that are broken down to start work on the construction phase of the terminal building, as well as reimburse you for the design efforts that you approved previously, which includes the construction of the parking lot associated with the terminal, the access road, and then begin design work on the removal of the old terminal so that by the time the new terminal is constructed, the old one can come down and be out of the way for some additional airfield pavement to be constructed. So the numbers are shown there to kind of give you a summary, but that is, the federal portions are considered there, but what we are asking for, or what we're talking about right now is this year funding would amount to $289,648, and next year $42,000 to go with all of the federal money, for a total project of roughly $3.2 million. So your share, should it get approved, is roughly 10% of the entire project. The rest of it is all federally, would be federally covered. So we've opened bids, we've received the grants, they are in hand with signatures to come. So it is sort of that part of the money is secured. There's no question that it's coming or anything like that. It's in our hand, waiting for a local piece, and then we will begin. Timeline on this, we have reached a 90-day delay from when we've opened bids, so we're getting to the point now where our contractor definitely wants to begin work and be under contract to do the work. So he would like to get started soon. So ultimately, we're working to get this going ASAP, which is why I believe it's emergency legislation, so that we can get the project started, some work done this fall and into next year. I can talk more, I can stop there and see if there's any questions or anything else related to that.
What I would like to do, if I may, Mr. Chair, is make a motion for this committee to send it to finance, and then here in another couple minutes when the finance committee convenes, we'll finish discussing the financial portion of it.
Great.
I'd like to have you have a motion to do that.
I just did.
Yep.
Great.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Spiegel?
Yes.
Ms. Sherrick?
Yes.
And myself, I'm a yes also.
So after the service committee, the economic development committee meets briefly, and then the finance committee meeting will go
I will
further in
have
depth.
more copies of those same pictures for those members when the
We'll
time
also have
comes.
more information at the finance
Yep.
section of this.
So, any questions about the project?
Nope.
Higher level
No,
stuff,
excited
that's
to
it.
see it get
First page,
moving.
yeah.
Yeah, it is, we are, as are we.
What's the timeline, like, once all this gets approved by council before they actually start physical work?
Physical work, there'll be probably, I'd say, a couple months of preparing the drawings, seeking building permits, all that sort of stuff to get underway. Some site work we'd hope would start this fall, but the bulk of the building construction, the actual above-ground work wouldn't happen until probably spring of next year, or through the winter and potentially into the spring. But ideally, by this time next year, it could be getting close to opening with the old terminal still functional. But yeah, it will definitely be right there. And of course, pictures have been around, so there is, the rendering that we have showing what it might look like, and go from there.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public participation at this time?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. I forgot one thing. What's the update on the wastewater treatment plant? Because we've been told time and time again there was a legal matter. However, there has been no executive session called for anything about legal to bring council in as a whole to know what's going on.
It's an issue the city's not ready to comment on.
Okay, thank you.
That's all we know, apparently.
That's all in this now right now. Any more public participation? Seeing none, I'm going to adjourn at 7:14.
Economic Development Committee, July 31st, 2025.
I call the Economic Development Committee to order at 7:16 PM. Members present: Vicki DeShawn, Terry Spiegel, Chris Moritz, and Clarissa Slater, Chair. First up is public participation.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Since transparency came up the other night, and also First Amendment rights, I would like to know why, when a member was appointed to the position for the chairman of this committee, when they took over as third ward and understood the full responsibilities of that position, why do they not want it now? Because to me, that's no difference between anything else in this council. If you took and swore that you wanted that position and all the duties and responsibilities to that position when you applied and told the committee that you would do that, and then you escape out of it, what's the difference between anything else? Thank you.
I won't answer that. One.
All right, any more public participation? Seeing none, I'll move to open projects. Anyone have comments on open projects?
No.
Okay, so I have one. So, yes, the agenda is pretty short, as it was a short turnaround for my first meeting. However, following up on what Greg Timberlake had stated on Tuesday, we are having the Crawford County Partnership and the JED is having a JED and CETA presentation. So that's the Joint Economic Development District and the Community Economic Development Agreement on August 25th from 5 to 7 p.m. It is to be a Q&A and also address the $1.5 million in the brownfield grants that we were given. That is at the Crawford County Success Center. And we had spoke previously that all of us can't attend. We were all invited, but otherwise it would be a meeting. So obviously we don't want to have a quorum, so I was thinking 2 members should go. And I'd like to open that up if anyone has any ideas on that.
First off, I will correct you.
What'd I do wrong?
August 28th.
His email says 25th.
Oh, I hope it doesn't.
His email says we are hosting on August 25th, 5 to 7 p.m. So I'll ask
Yeah.
him for clarification, because I was going off of my email. So I'll send one back to him and see which date it is for sure.
Say 5 to 7, right?
5 to 7 p.m. Oh, you have it. Okay, well, the flyer says August 28th, so I'm going to guess that this was double-checked, and
That's
we'll
the
go
correct
off
date,
of
yeah.
the flyer, not the email, but my apologies. So August 28th. And I'll send an email just to double-check. Any input on?
Well, you know, Mr. Gobrick, I had asked that very question on who could attend so that we wouldn't get into any violation of the, sunshine laws.
So I believe my answer to that was, technically, y'all can go if you don't discuss any city business, but I don't really think it's a good idea, because obviously city business will come up. And I don't think even good-natured intentions will stop some city business coming up. And so you can make that the special meeting, or you can send whoever that doesn't constitute a quorum, so 2 people.
And so we're talking about 2 people from the Economic Development Committee?
Correct,
Okay.
since that's JED and CETA
Right.
is on our open
Okay.
projects. That was my solution, so I guess, to be fair, I mean, the only thing is, and I don't know how we broadcast that, or, if we all go, how that would all work. So I was just trying
It'd
to,
be simpler just to send 2 people,
I would agree, that's what
or
I.
one person that takes really good notes.
So my suggestion then is the chair and the vice chair go if no one else wants to go.
I wouldn't know what my schedule was until I got to look at it at work. So.
What day of the week is that, do you know?
Thursday.
Thursday? I could probably go on Thursday.
And I'm perfectly fine, Terry, with you going.
Sure.
I'm not going to be, I'm not running again, and if this happens to
Right.
continue on, I'm
Which is
perfectly fine with.
Which is why I was
You too.
wanting to know if you 2 wanted to go, because you'll be here, we have, 5 months left? But I was going to default to chair and vice chair if nobody wanted to go, but.
What night, where's it at?
It is at the Crawford County Success Center, so it's the, I just forgot what road that's on, across from the courthouse, next to the library.
You got this paper that Mr. Timberlake passed out
Okay, I
Tuesday?
got that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's got
Okay.
everything on there for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, I guess just let us know.
Yeah, I will.
All right, any other open projects? Vicky?
Nope.
Chris? Terry?
Nope.
All right, I'm done as well. So again, public participation. Hearing none, I adjourn us at 7:22 PM.
July 31st, 2025.
Call the Finance Committee meeting to order at 7:24 PM. Members present are James Me, Christopher Moritz, Vicky DeShawn, and Kevin Myers, Chair. Public participation for Finance.
Fankhauser, 1415 Michigan Drive. Seeing that we're at the end of July, tomorrow is the beginning of August, in the business world, once the first half of the year's over, a lot of companies look at their books, how's the income expenses looking. Given that the budget was in a $300,000 deficit for 2025, we do have revenue that has come in so far this year. And I was told last in December that we weren't going to know what the full cost of the new insurance was until 6 months into 2025, which that could substantially affect where things are. I'd like to see some sort of an update publicly. You know, where is this 2025 year with income and expenses landing us, so that we can kind of grasp what's going to be coming when the 2026 budget starts to be discussed. Because, you know, if we're running over on 2025, we're definitely going to have major problems going into 2026. So that's all my comment.
Auditor Lewis, is that something you could maybe add into either your report next Monday or for the next Finance Committee meeting? To like just do a brief
I might not be able to
overview?
get it, so because of the Monday meeting, it'll
Yeah.
probably have to be the Finance
Or
Committee.
the next meeting after, sometime in the next
Yeah.
immediate future that you could throw something together to update basically what was just said.
Yes, I
Perfect,
can do
thanks.
that.
Any other public participation?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Well, somebody stole a little bit of my stuff, but once again, I want to bring up why we're not having a budget meeting for the public, because we've been denied. Mr. Myers, back in December, you denied us. Earlier this year, you denied us again. It turned out to be a freaking water show, and it wasn't what its purpose was to go over the budget. People are saying, hey, we need to look at this budget. We'd like to come in and look. Even a council person has said that people want to come in and talk about the budget, okay, and bring ideas and stuff to see what we can do about cutting expenses. But we don't have no data. That's the issue. We have no data whatsoever, okay? I've never seen anybody, all I've heard is no report, no report, no report. We're hearing the same song and dance again. Okay, where's the information? Where's the data at that actually people can understand? Okay, the other thing I have a question too about is about how much are we spending in the income tax department? Okay, we have 2 employees in there, correct? Okay, so, I mean, is this $42,000 going to cover everything? Totally, 100%? Or not?
For the software, yes.
Just for the software?
Mm-hmm.
How much more is it going to cost us?
That's the
Yearly?
price on the software.
What's that?
That's the price on the software.
Right,
correct?
but there's an additional cost to that software, correct?
You mean there's a yearly contract?
Is there a yearly contract? Is there training that's going to cost us? What's the total dollar amount that this thing is going to cost us? Why aren't we looking at going to an outside source like Rita, like a lot of other cities do? Okay? Have this done through another third-party company, which there's no issues. I've never heard of any issues, no problems with that company whatsoever, unless somebody can disprove that with me. But I've talked to a lot of municipalities so far and said they have no problems with that company doing their income tax. So I would like to know how much is this software and ongoing issues is going to cost us over the years? Okay, is this a one-time deal, or is this per year, or what's going on with this? All we see is $42,000. We got no explanation for this stuff. Okay, that's a concern to a lot of people in this town. Okay, and like I said, I've asked twice. I'm going to ask for the third time. Mr. Myers is chairman of this Finance Committee. I think it's time to open up doors again and let the public come in and let them know what the budget is, how we can look at saving money by the end of this year, and where this city stands right now. Not in 3 months, because I understand they're only predictions. But we know for a fact now what the first 6 months has done, okay? And I know for a fact that the insurance has cost us a crap load of money, okay? I've heard so far over $500,000 so far, and I hope that's not true. Total so far, for everything. So, like I said, I think it's time to have another meeting.
Can I
Thank you.
ask where your source is, where you're hearing these things?
I'm protected on the First Amendment.
Oh, no, I'm not
But I
disputing
mean,
that.
I can come do a public records request with you tomorrow, and you have to give me the information when I walk in
You
the door.
for sure can, and
I
just so
know.
you know, all the information is here, and the detailed trial balance is provided to everyone, including the council president, every month at the beginning of the month.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other public participation? Seeing none. Do you want to move forward, or do you want me to let Mr. Cooley come up and finish what he's got going on now?
Sure, that would actually be
Let's do
nice.
that first, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Cooley. Or Kevin, Detray. Or all of you, any of you.
Y'all come up here.
Lynn, you can even join.
Come on, Glenn. Get the Three Stooges up here. Come on.
Kevin Detray, the airport. Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say we have established a 501c3 with the Internal Revenue Service for the airport terminal project. We have already had one family, local family, that's agreed to match up to $50,000 for any funds that we receive. I want to thank the law director for his assistance on getting that set up so we can go out and start to solicit and hopefully, defray some of the expenses to the city. So that's all I had to say. We'll be working on that, and then I'll unless there's questions for me? No?
What was that number again? 513C?
Yeah, so that taking that $50,000 you just mentioned takes our expense down to $239,000.
Well, and if we can match that with another 50, which I know there are.
Oh, they're going to match every time we.
They will match up to $50,000. So if we get $50,000 in outside donations,
I understand
they
that.
will
So
match
they're
up
not
to.
matching
So it'd
the
be
city's money.
100,000.
I got you.
They're not
Okay.
matching the city money, just
I got
private
you.
donations. Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So
Do you have any plans in place to seek that other $50,000 in donations?
now that we have the nonprofit organized and legal and ready to go, we are going to have an airport commission meeting, and others, are going to be invited to that. And we're going to start to kind of, allocate who to go to. We already have some ideas. Sure. And we want to,
And I'm going to throw this question at you, at Ben, and at Kaylee. Is there a deadline for that fundraising portion for that match that we, as a city, are going to have to pony up the rest shy of what they get? So is there a timeline that you have to have that matching portion done by so that we know where we stand?
that's really kind of depends on the city's books at this particular time. We want to be aggressive and go,
right,
and try to accomplish as much as we can in a short period of time.
Do you think it could be by the end of this year?
Well, we're hoping before that.
Before that, okay.
But, fingers crossed type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I asked you to come up, Lynn.
Yeah, go on now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Here we go,
Lyn Makeever, 720 Martin Avenue on the Airport Commission. I can't guarantee, I was going to do some of the soliciting. I know that due to the lateness of this year, some of the funding institutions that I was talking to, it would be in next year's budget for them.
Okay.
If it was me, I would say you need to cover it, and then everything that we come up with the match money and the donations would be money you wouldn't have to spend. But I would say today, you need to match the 10% number.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. Thank you.
I can speak to the federal portion of the timeline and what might be necessary or contractually. Like I mentioned before, the contractor is looking to go. We're at the point now where he has placed his bid. It's been 90 days since his bid has gone in. The construction market is leading him to be very concerned about being able to continue to extend his bid indefinitely. So getting him under contract, or whatever funds that need to be allocated to be able to get him under contract, to be able to lock in his prices, get his subs lined up, and be able to proceed forward with the construction would be the only sort of urgency that I would give beyond what the airport can match on their own, would be, internal to you guys. But
So out of the
federally, there's no-
289, do you have a timeline of like when we will need to write those checks?
Yeah, rough, yes. The contractor, once he gets started, there wouldn't be any sort of money right away. Ultimately, there could be some, the building permits, some upfront deposits that he need to make to secure materials, things like that, that would come due before the end of the year. But it would be a very small portion of the money itself, probably in the $100,000 at most. So your share of that, and which would all be federally reimbursed. So your share of that would be what you could expect. But as they start doing the work, once the concrete starts getting placed, the steel starts going up, that's where those costs would start coming in quicker. And we do expect that's wintertime or into the spring, when the majority of that construction would proceed. But did everyone get the copy?
So you're looking at $100,000 this year, is that correct? Is that what
At
I'm
least.
At least, that's the concern. Did everybody get one of these? Okay.
But if we appropriate $100,000, then
Well, I know, Kaylee, a couple months ago, we had talked that there were some leftover funds and some things, so
Yes,
where
and
do we
I
stand? And
actually-
give us a rundown of what.
So I actually have that in what we're going to be discussing about transferring appropriating tonight.
Oh, okay.
Just to get it ready. So you guys should be good with the city having our portion of it. Now, the donations could be an issue. It won't be an issue for what we have here tonight. I'm thinking maybe I just transfer, sorry, just talking in my head out loud. How we can still do exactly what we have tonight. But because it's appropriated doesn't mean I have to actually transfer that money.
Right.
Some of it we may just leave in those lines, and then we may do an advance in case the city has to advance some of those funds from the general fund that we're expected to be reimbursed via donations, because then we'll have to advance that back. So it just changes the name from advance to general funds, but audit looks at it differently.
Yep.
But what we have here tonight should take care of roughly $300,000 for the city's share.
Good to know.
Thanks for the information.
You're welcome.
We'll dive more into that in a second. So I think, unless you have anything else, I think we're good and ready to listen to what else she has.
Okay, I will be here if you need me.
Actually, I do have a question. Do we have any paper? I was just asking Tommy. Do we have any paperwork? I know you said you're in the process of getting signatures.
Yes.
So if I were to present, in order to increase our revenues with the county auditor, I just need some signed proof and numbers to back up what I'm telling them.
Federally grant-wise?
Yes.
That is, those don't come through me, so I think it starts with the service director and then continues through the chain and eventually would end up at the law director. So I don't know where it is in the chain of signatures, but I have an unsigned version that says that we've been given from the FAA.
Okay.
Of the 3 grants that are ongoing right now.
Okay, and those have specific numbers listed?
Correct, they have all the
Okay.
local share and federal share.
That's perfect.
shown.
Just wanted to make sure that was somewhere coming down the line, so.
Which is why we're here to go. The money is here, it is time.
Okay.
There was sort of concern and maybe there was, where are we at? We are here, it's here, now we're ready to move forward.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Okay?
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Ben.
Thank you.
Continue.
My turn. Okay, so I'm going to run through the transfers and the waterworks fund and then appropriations one right after the other. I did want to state there were a couple changes made from the papers you had. I just didn't want to, because there was all the confusion with who's doing, what was going on with the agendas, I didn't want to throw one more thing at them to have them try to back something out and put something new in. So on the transfer form, I believe it says Waterworks, 701 Waterworks Lands and Building. That should just read Waterworks, and that should be reflected in the legislation on Monday. And then in the appropriations piece, under Fund 247, it says permanent improvements. There's no S on the end there. Okay. So for the transfers
I don't know why she
piece.
was looking at you.
I don't either.
Well, because we've had discussions where I'm looking at them and I go, okay, I need to revert back to the original budgeting ordinance when I make sure they're all named properly, so. The transfers to be referred to Finance Committee on July 31st, 2025 for the purpose of payment of water system improvement. That's not right. Can we table this?
Moment.
Need a recess?
Well, can we table the transfer? Because I don't think it's an emergency or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just make sure we get that put on the agenda for the next meeting next week.
Okay. And then for the appropriations, for July 31st, 2025, appropriations for operating incidentals and transfers for airport fund. Under 101 Program 7 General Government, Program 7745 and 7746 Civil Service, and item 24 Materials and Supplies, $6,000. Under Program 7780 and 7781 General Government, $100,000 to item line 27 Transfers. Appropriations for the purchase of income tax software to Fund 201 Income Tax under Program 7760 Income Tax, and $42,000 to item 23 Contractual Services. Appropriations for the permanent improvements to the airport. That is Fund 247 Permanent Improvement, Program 7790 General Government, $60,000 to item line 25 Capital Outlay. Appropriations for fire station lands and building improvements. Fund 276, the Fire Department Donations Fund, Program 7115 Fire Department, and $2,088.28 to item line 25 Capital Outlay. And appropriations for airport advance back to general fund and city share of grant for airport terminal, Fund 280 Airport Grant, Program 7620 Airport, $200,000 to 25 Capital Outlay line, and $167,137.20 to item line 29 advances.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion requesting emergency legislation for the appropriations that the auditor just listed.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Me and a second by Mr. Moritz. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call. Mr. Me?
Yes.
Mr. Moritz?
Yes.
Mrs. DeShawn?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes, that motion carries. All right. Auditor, did you have anything else?
Nope, I believe that's it.
Okay. Mr. Me, do you have any open projects you wish to discuss this evening?
No.
Mr. Moritz?
No, I do not.
Mrs. DeShawn?
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Robbers Festival. At Tuesday's council meeting, I made the statement that I was pretty sure that we had a draft piece of legislation for the city to enter into a contract or an agreement with the festival, for the festival to reimburse the city for services that the city was providing. That statement was made in error. There currently is not a draft piece of legislation. What happened back on June the 5th, at that time a motion was made to enter into emergency legislation for a one-year contract between the festival and the city for $8,000. Meaning festival pay the city $8,000 for services that we are providing to them. While we were talking about that and entertaining or asking for votes, Mr. Myers brought up that he had been informed that the festival had gone out and hired a private company to take care of all the trash, as well as a private company to take care of all of the safety and security. And he was questioning, you know, why are we charging money for things that we're not going to provide? So at that time, my hearing aids are ringing, someone's calling me. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. Can you hear it ringing?
I cannot.
Oh, you can-
I need
oh,
that
that's
myself.
good. Okay,
What?
yeah, I can hear it. I'm sorry.
Can you really hear it, Evan?
Yeah, I can hear it.
You can hear the phone ringing?
Yeah, I can hear your hearing aids.
Oh, my hearing aids are,
Because of my hearing.
Oh, through the
Coming
speaker.
I
I was like, that's bad. I'm right next to her and I don't hear anything.
I apologize, I looked, it was my grandson calling. Anyhow, at that time, the committee members, we all mentioned that, you know, we hadn't heard anything about that. So it was decided that we would table the matter and then get with the administration. At Tuesday's council meeting, Mayor Truca confirmed that Rumpke is donating their services to the festival for garbage pickup, and the festival will be providing or securing private security for the downtown beer garden. The city will be providing all law enforcement for the entire city and all of the Bratwurst Festival. The city will also provide the barricade setup and takedown and the washing of the streets. Mayor Truca confirmed that Doug Fote, festival director, wishes to still uphold the previously agreed upon $8,000 payment from the festival to the city for the services that we're going to provide. So I think with that being said, this would be the time where we're asking for a motion to enter into an agreement for the $8,000 payment by the festival to the city for services provided.
Do we need to, since it's only $8,000, could it, I thought one time that we were, had administration.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's less than $75,000.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
thinking too.
Substantially less.
I don't know, I'm just,
But it's not, you're talking, that $75,000 would be an expense.
Yes.
This
This
is not
is
an
income.
expense, this is to enter into a contract, which we do need to authorize them
Right.
to do if they're going to sign a contract.
Right.
They don't need to enter a contract, they can just send them a bill
I was gonna say, yeah.
without a contract. That's, it could go either way. I mean, you're the lawyer, you tell us what's the right thing to do.
Go either way.
But I mean, with
Contracts are
having an
good.
agreement or a
I was
contract,
gonna say, contracts are usually pretty good.
that's just where the festival is saying, we agree to pay.
By turning this over to the administration, that takes it out of our hands.
It was turned over to the administration for the purposes only to
Right.
negotiate the figure.
Now,
And they have
the
negotiated that
festival's
figure.
fine with the 8,000, right?
Right.
We should get that in writing.
And that, I totally agree. We always had signed agreements when
But,
I worked for the law director's
but
office.
they already have an agreement, correct?
No, there's not been one
It's
signed.
a verbal agreement that they've all made in talking with each other.
Yes.
There's nothing
Signed.
signed because we would have to authorize them to sign a contract.
As a resolution.
I'd like to make that motion. So we move forward.
Your motion would be to authorize the administration to enter into a contract with Bratwurst Festival Incorporated for a dollar amount for the 2025 festival to be $8,000 to include cleanup and public safety
As an emergency.
as an
That
emergency.
is an emergency.
Second, that one?
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Me, and I have a second by Mr. Moritz. Any further discussion? Mr. Me,
Yes.
Mr. Moritz,
Yes.
Mrs. DeShawn.
Yes.
And I'm a no, motion passes. Any open projects other than that, Mrs. DeShawn?
Nope.
Okay, public participation.
Fankhauser, 1415 Michigan Drive again. It was brought up about the RETA after I had my public participation earlier in the meeting. So just a little history on that. The Reeser administration looked into RETA, and I kind of remember it might have been in a slideshow, but RETA, what RETA does is they charge like somewhere around 1% or so, I believe, of your gross collected tax. That's what they keep. And at the time when the Reeser administration looked at that, they looked at how much our employee personnel cost was in the income tax office, and it was so close that there was no savings. So I think that's why the Reeser administration just said, we're just going to keep doing it in-house. I think that might have changed now with our hourly wage rates going up with the most recent Ask Me contract. You know, the $4.25 an hour, that was a significant impact on the budget. That's got to be, there's got to be a noticeable number for that for them 2 employees. Plus, we have the increased insurance now. And then on top of that, now we're seeing we need to purchase software of $42,000. Sounds like it's a one-time. However, maybe is there an associated annual cost with the software?
With any accounting software, there's an annual fee and contract there is with our current software.
And so knowing all of that, you know, we're always told, well, if you got an idea, bring it up here. If you got an idea to save money, bring it up here. I'm bringing it up here right now. And there's also other costs that you don't really associate when you reduce staffing levels. You have less administrative need for oversight of those employees. You free up office space in the building that could be used for other things. So there's other additional savings there than not just the personnel. So I would just hope that before we spend $42,000 on software, that we would fully look into the RETA thing again.
I know I've asked a lot of you, is that also something else that you might be able to kind of throw some numbers together and do some math and just let us know if there's been any change from when that was last looked at a few years ago to what kind of, and maybe also what kind of dollar amounts we'd be looking at as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other public participation? Seeing none, we will adjourn at 7:51 p.m.